Welcome back, everybody, to another video. In this video, we are going to cover ported sub versus seal sub. This topic has been covered by many YouTubers, but I figure I'd give you guys my take in 2023 and which one to actually choose if you have to choose. But before we get into it, let's go over some of the differences. A ported sub typically produces lower extended bass. Seal subs is slightly more accurate and cleaner, but has less boom. As long as you have a decent sub, ported or sealed, one is not better than the other when it comes to music listening. So we're just gonna rule that out. For a seal sub, it comes in an airtight box, which restricts air movement. As the cone vibrates, the trapped air acts as a cushion against it, which in turn produces a more richer sound, tighter bass with lower frequencies, more accurate without potentially being too boomy. On a ported sub, it has small holes below the cone to allow air movement to be vented. The bass will have more powerful vibrations and a greater boom potential. Sound and bass will be produced not only from the cone, but also from the ported holes. Let's go over the pros and cons for sealed subs. The pros for a sealed sub, they are more detailed, audio orientated, more discreet for dialogue, better sound separation for music. They come in a smaller, compact box size. The cons of a sealed sub is that louder, more powerful bass is restricted by the sealed enclosure by its design. You need a little more powerful amplifier to enhance the sounds of the bass. Now, the pros for the ported sub, the bass production is more loud and higher, more efficient and reliable. The cons for that is that they come in a larger box size and it has potential port noises, potential room distortion if placed in the wrong place, and bass is less tight and accurate. Now that we know the gist of the ported versus sealed, I'll give you guys my take. Each brand and model is different, and everyone on YouTube preferably prefer a ported sub over a sealed one, simply because most of them, and it's true, they say that with the ported ones you can feel the lower frequency response of the hertz that the human ears is unable to hear. So, but you can definitely feel more vibration, and there's more air pressure produced by the ported ones. So you get more thump, and it's more powerful. But to cut to the chase, a sealed sub, in my opinion, will always sound deeper, cleaner over a ported one. Each type of sub has a threshold of what can handle, so tuning it correctly is very important. And a ported sub, although will produce more powerful reverberations over the sealed, but the sealed sub still has enough vibrations to rumble your seat. Like I said, what you'll find out from a ported ones is that for a ported sub, you're gonna have more reverberations, and it will push more air, thus giving you more vibration and more bass if you put in the right place. And like I said, you got more rumble in your seat. But that being said, on a seal one, you still get that rumble. It's just not as much. For instance, for a ported one, it'll hit your whole body for the sound pressure. For the sealed one, you'll still get the vibration, but it hits mainly like just your chest, just to put in perspective. But I still recommend buying a seal sub over a ported one, especially a seal sub that's made by REL or SVS. And perhaps in the future I'll make a comparison video on what is really the difference between those two subs and those brand when it comes to seal subs. And on a side note, I own both a sealed and ported of the same brand, so I love both of them for what they bring to the table. But if you had to decide which one to own only or first, I would buy a seal sub made by REL or SVS, especially made by REL or SVS, but a seal one at that. If you prefer to shake your whole house crazily without that bass, then of course you're gonna go with the ported one. But overall, if you just had to choose one, you're gonna want to choose a seal one because it'll be a lot cleaner and you'll still enjoy the vibration and the sound. It's gonna be so much cleaner and tighter overall when you buy a seal one. So that's why, for me, if you had to choose one, I would choose a sealed over ported. And then if you can't decide, because you got to run at least 2 subwoofers, right? So just buy one of each. But if you buy one of each, ported and a seal, and you were to run those two together, you're gonna have to tune it pretty accurately, close to one another, so that way one does throw off the other. But that's gonna pretty much wrap it up for this video, guys. Comments below on your take on this topic. Keep it friendly. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hooded Dragons out.